Boys, saddle up for the day, because today we are going to be talking about Shakira. And the intense longing and sadness that I feel every time I hear the song, Hips Don't Lie.
Aww.
Why does this song in particular make me feel sad? Well, for one, it's very easy to make me feel sad. I'm very good at it. But two, I heard the song during some very key moments in my childhood, and therefore it makes me feel nostalgic. And I have a very love-hate relationship with nostalgia. I honestly feel like everybody should hate nostalgia. Childhood is like a weird fever dream while you're in it, and nostalgia comes along later in life and tells you that fever dream was your prime. But everyone, including me, loves feeling nostalgic. It's almost redundant to list the ways we indulge our nostalgia in our day-to-day life, but I'm gonna do it anyway for the sake of having a complete argument for the video. There are about 100 million movie reboots every year. Every single TV show that has ever existed is getting a revival, and Twitter is just full of people scoffing at each other because their cartoons are better than today's cartoons. So today, I'm going to try to explore my tumultuous relationship with nostalgia and why I can't look at Shakira without feeling sad.
Ladies up in here tonight, no fighting.
We got the refugees
No fighting. No fighting. Shakira, Shakira.
I never really knew that she could dance like this. She make a man wanna speak Spanish. Como se llama? Bonita. Picasa.
Shakira, Shakira.
By the way, for this video, I'll be pulling a lot from an essay by Haley Naiman called Documenting My Life Has Made Me Obsessed with Memories. I'm going to leave a link in the description, and you guys should seriously check it out. It's great. But before we get into all that analytical crap, I'm going to show you some clips that mean a lot to me and my childhood. And then I'm going to make jokes. Let's start with this one.
Who is interrupting my therapeutic cleansing now?
Oh man!
Fish, happy fish, happy, happy, happy fish, happy fish.
The frightening fish. You're all mine. Oh no! Get the fish! Good work!
Oh, not so happy, fishy fish.
Oh no!
If you couldn't already tell, that was a scene from Power Rangers. Power Rangers Dino Thunder to be specific. The best one. Fight Me. It was the first episode of Power Rangers I ever watched, and therefore it can trigger a nostalgic episode of me like nothing else can. I hate to brag, but I am luckier than most kids. Some kids who are older than me got real comedy with shows like Rugrats and SpongeBob, and some kids who are younger than me got real heart with shows like Steven Universe or Gravity Falls, but I got the mackerel. And now the mackerel never leaves my mind, popping back into my head every couple of months to remind me that things are crazy awesome when I was a kid and getting old sucks. It's just so wild to me that it's things like this that make me think, oh man, growing up sucks, being a kid was the best. Like, this is just batshit insanity. And look, I get parody, like I do, and I know there's a way to break down this scene and figure out exactly what they're trying to mock, but that's just too crazy to break down. It's more fun not to. It's even kind of beautiful to me that I can experience such a wide range of emotions, feel so sad or so happy, feel so serious or feel like my life is never gonna come back up, and also have this in my head ready to pop out at any moment. In fact, I'd say that this scene has more staying power in my head than most of the intense emotions I've felt throughout the years. Am I broken? Oh shit, no time to explore that now, it's time for commercials.
I'm working for an hourly wage. I went to high school, didn't do great. Still I gotta make more cash. More education is what I'm looking at. When I get a degree, I will make a bigger salary. So now I've got to see which college is right for me. I went on the internet and found Education Connection.
You know, I just found out what that commercial's about. It's about getting college online or something. I never knew as a kid. I just knew it had a catchy jingle, and I knew the part where it was like, get connected for free education connection. I think it's one of the great things about the commercials that I watched as a kid is that I never knew what the product was. Take this lollipop commercial. I call it the lollipop commercial because they sing
Lollipop, lollipop, oh lolly, 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 lollipop.
throughout the commercial while they're making something that looks sugary, and it's about Dell computers. What the fuck? I mean, I guess these things make sense a little bit. They're getting the brand in my head. I just don't think they're doing it the right way. Like, sure, if they wanted me to think about it 10 years later, they got me, but if they wanted me to buy their product, I didn't. To be fair, a lot of these commercials ran when I was a kid, so I don't think they were really aimed at me. Maybe they had better effectiveness with adults at the time. However, I don't think the kids' commercials worked on me very well either. Like Go-Gurt and Capri Sun, for example. They both had commercials that were aimed at children, and they showed children eating or drinking their products. Well, I don't know if you eat Go-Gurt. I guess you slurp Go-Gurt. So, drinking and slurping their product, and then the children in the commercials would get disfigured in some sort of way. Hey, that kid got flattened. That kid's a bobblehead now. Like, what kind of advertisement is that? Or the SpaghettiOs commercial where the kid has like a party in his mouth. It looks like he's about to throw up. Like, guys, don't show me horrifying shit happening to the kids who take your product. Take your product kind of sounds like drugs. I should have. They're eating, drinking, and slurping. Like, just replace the. I don't have time to figure out what they're doing with all these things. To be fair, though, I do think I need to be giving these commercials more credit than I am. I mean, their job is to leave an impression on you, and they left an impression on me. A lot of people are more encapsulated by these commercials now than they ever were as kids, and that's some staying power. In fact, YouTube has more than dozens, like a lot of commercial compilations online where you can watch the commercials that you watched as a kid and try and recreate that experience. Although some of you guys are trying in the completely wrong way to recapture these memories. I mean, seriously, if you're gonna sit down and watch 20-minute long compilations of commercials, you're doing it wrong. Here's how you should be doing it. Oh, hey. It's that old Campbell's chicken noodle soup commercial I watched as a kid. Time to recreate some memories. Spin 10 back yet? I wonder if I could stick this up my butt. Let's move on. Another thing I've tried to recapture over the years but never quite could is the feeling that I used to get when playing computer games. And I'm not talking about like big computer games that could also be console games if they really wanted to be. I'm talking about like Flash games or Webkins or Pop Tropica. I had game systems as a kid. I had tons of video games at my disposal, and oftentimes I'd still choose to play computer games for hours on end. I guess I can see why as a kid I didn't like this game. I mean, it's obviously more Mario Fart than Mario Kart, whereas in this Flash game you're driving in a tunnel, like in the movies, so that means the game's fantastic, I love it. In Melee, there's obviously the problem of I'm playing as a plumber and I never wanted to be a plumber, so this game sucks. Whereas in this game, I'm an earthbender, and that's pretty cool because I can pick up the rock and throw the rock, and then I can pick up the rock and I can throw the rock. In this game, you play as The Simpsons. I've obviously never watched The Simpsons, so I don't care. Whereas in this game, you're playing in a dump, and I've been to a dump several times, so A+ game, mostly for the dump. Now, in some cases, I do get why I'd play these games so often. For example, in Webkins, if you didn't visit the site enough, they'd straight up murder your pet. Oh, you can't play computer today? Well, that's fine, we get it. You don't love your pet. Jerry, have you seen the knife? Hey, Editing William here. So I can't actually find anything on the internet that supports my claim that Webkins would die if you didn't give them enough attention. I texted my sister and she remembers that rule, so I know I'm not like completely insane. I don't know, maybe they changed the rule, or maybe me and her just made it up when we were kids, or maybe we're both remembering it wrong, but I can't find anything, and I wanted to put like a clip of it so that I could show how morbid it was, and I can't find it. So if you remember that rule, say something in the comments so that you can make everyone else know that I'm not crazy for saying that a children's game would kill your pet. Thank you. So, with things like that, you kind of want to get on every day. Plus, a lot of these games were super well made and deserved the attention. I just don't understand why I was so enthralled by it as a kid that I could spend hours on it. But that's probably because I don't have as much time now. I have to walk around my apartment and think about doing other stuff. Like an adult. Finally, let's talk about Shakira, Hips Don't Lie, and what's probably the most frequent inducer of nostalgia. Music. Unlike the rest of the examples, I don't think there's anything inherently ridiculous about the music video for Hips Don't Lie. It's just kind of a music video. The only comments I really have to make are, she's pretty and a really good dancer. At least I think so. She's moving a lot. I'm not sure what dancing's supposed to look like, but I think she's a really good dancer. Also, this guy, my new favorite person in existence. I don't know why, I don't try to understand it. He just is. But the fact that it's not ridiculous is part of the reason I wanted to include it in the video. I just want to ask, what do you think of when you see this music video or hear this song? If you've never heard the song before or seen the video, you might just be judging whether or not you like it. But if you heard it back in the 2000s like I did, you might be thinking of the 2000s right now and your life when you first heard the song. The comment section seems pretty split between two comments. She pretty, and who's listening to this in 2020? The second one is the one I want to focus on because it's in the comment section for a lot of songs. Bye 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 by NSYNC, Skater Boy by Avril Lavigne, We Are Never Getting Back Together by Taylor Swift. Basically, any pop song that came out before 2018. And I think it's because, for a lot of people, these songs are like little time capsules. There's not one specific memory associated with popular songs like these. You've heard them multiple times during a certain point in your life. And I think it's that aspect of these old songs that makes it so hard for me to hear them. Whereas with other stuff, I can focus on specific memories I have. With music, it just reminds me of a general period in my life and reminds me that that period is over. And that's something that's really hard for me to think about. I just hate feeling like good moments of my life have passed me by. It's crazy how even when you're happy in life, some song or clip or smell can throw you into a series of memories with friends you've lost or places that you've moved on from and convince you that that's the happiest you'll ever be. That brings me to the point of the video, which is that nostalgia is killing me.
Hey, that's the name of the show.
Look, I'm not gonna say that I think nostalgia is a bad thing. I don't think it is. Reminiscing is fun, and seeing something that reminds you of good times is great. I just think that some people, including myself, are indulging themselves in nostalgia a little too much. I rarely go a day without indulging myself in some form of nostalgia. I mean, there's playlists online of all the songs from the 2000s. You can go watch clips from old childhood shows. There's actually a channel on YouTube whose sole purpose is to recreate common experiences that 2000s kids had. I'll actually link that channel down below. It's pretty awesome. In fact, I don't think there's any problem with any of these things on their own. It's just when I watch every single one of them that crosses my feed. And I don't have anyone to blame but myself. It's addicting. I can turn on one of these videos and think about how much better life was when I was a kid. All I had to do was sit around the house and watch TV with my friends and my sisters. Not a care in the world. Except, when I was a kid, I did have a care in the world. Life has never been perfect, at least not for me, and I don't even think you could make the argument that my childhood was better than my right now-hood. I've always had issues, things that I was worried about or angry about. That's how life is. It has its peaks and valleys. Except, somehow, nostalgia's been able to convince me that my present is always a valley and my past is always a peak. It's gotten to a point that nostalgia doesn't even make me happy anymore, just kind of anxious. So I guess that only leaves me with the question, how do I fix that? And I've decided to change my shirt. There, I fixed all my problems. So yeah, it's a completely different day now. In fact, it's one day before I'm supposed to post this video, so that's great. I originally had a completely different ending for the video where I pitched some solutions to the problems I presented, but I guess you could say I've changed my shirt and my perspective. See, something about the video wasn't sitting right with me. I was editing the video and watching it over and over again, and I'd always get to this end part and I'd just kind of skip right through it. And I thought for a while it was because it was boring, and I was just walking around listening to music, ironically enough, something that made me feel nostalgic, and I realized, oh, I don't agree with my point. See, it was something very specific that was making me upset with all the videos and stuff I was talking about before. I would talk about how I would go into YouTube and see a compilation and click on it, and it would make me feel nostalgic, I think when I didn't want to be. Like, I want to be in the moment. I'm just looking for something to watch, and all of a sudden I'm thinking about my past, and that made me, specifically, upset at the time. And it happens to me a lot. That's why I decided it was a big enough issue to make a video about, but it's not a big enough issue in me or among anyone else that I think I need to be solving it. Like, here's the quick solution to what I was talking about. Hey, if watching nostalgic videos makes you sad, stop watching those nostalgic videos. But still, it was happening enough to me that when I decided to make a video about nostalgia, I wanted to explore that issue. And I did, and I think I'm really proud of that part of the video. What I wasn't proud of was that forced conclusion I made myself come to originally at the end of the videos. So maybe it would just be easier if I tried to live in the moment and just experience things as they came rather than make them memories. See, I thought the video needed to be complete, so I put a conclusion on it. But the problem is that it wasn't a conclusion that I actually came to in real life. It was a conclusion I came to end my video, and I don't like that. I'll just end this particular video at, sometimes nostalgia makes me anxious. Isn't that crazy? And we'll all move on with our lives. Sorry, I know that took a weird turn there for a second. I just wanted to capture on camera how I felt about my original conclusion, because I think that shit's interesting. And if you don't, there's a dislike button. So anyways, if you felt the way that I have about nostalgia before, then I hope this video offered you some sort of catharsis, and for the rest of you, I hope you just enjoyed watching me make fun of clips. And to future William, take a look around. This is as perfect as it gets. You'll never ever be happier than you are in this moment right now, so you better start preparing your nostalgia goggles, buddy, because this is all you've got. Alright, well, that's all I've got. If you liked the video, I have a couple of other commentaries on my channel as well as a bunch of sketches, so you should go check those out. And if you want to see more videos that I will be making in the future, maybe you can subscribe. Or just come back to the channel every day and see if I posted a new video. I don't really care either way. Thanks for watching. Bye.